In this video we'll give you 3 conversation topics that work with every girl. So the first topic is traveling. So if you have never been to any place, if you only have been to your home country, remember that it's not illegal to travel. So you can start traveling. There are around 200 countries in the whole world. So you can, for example, in the past I had the goal to see every country in the world. Now I'm not so interested anymore to see every country, but majority of countries still yes. And also, if you make just one new trip every year, after like 2, 3, 4 years, you will be already like above the average of pretty much everybody. Because I had many students in the last years that they were maybe 40 years old or something like this, and they've been to only 2 countries, 3 countries. I understand this is the majority of people, but what the fuck have you done in like 40 years? Okay, so start traveling, start seeing new places, and plan the travel in advance. Okay, you can also, if you're an entrepreneur or professional, you should have maybe a more flexible schedule, so you can also travel more often than a normal person. But start seeing the world, because also this will give you more topics in the conversation. So but actually you don't have to start traveling, because then you will have more topics in the conversation. Start traveling for yourself, for seeing the world, for having a more open-minded like mentality. But also your conversation with girls will benefit for this. If you've never traveled, ask to a girl where she has been. Okay, usually girls, they are traveling a little bit more than men on average. It's not always like this, but on average, yes. For example, I have an application on my phone that is like a check that is marking with green every country I've been. Okay, and sometimes I open it during a date, and this will give me conversation topics. Maybe she's asking me a question about a specific country. Or sometimes maybe I will open like my gallery or my archive of stories on Instagram, or maybe some other archive online on Google Drive, on Dropbox, or wherever you have your photos, and start showing some photos about a specific city where maybe she wants to go. Okay, you don't have to starting showing your travel like casually. Okay, if the conversation is related to something that you can show about your travel, perfect, do it. It's a good thing. It will increase your value. A person that has traveled only inside his own country will always be less interesting than a person that has traveled around the world. Maybe in 10 different countries, it will be always more interesting than a person that traveled in 10 different cities inside the same country. Then the second conversation topic that you can use always in every situation, when you're approaching the girl in a date situation, is talking about her. Okay, so talking about the girl. The most favorite conversation topic of everybody is talking about themselves. So talking about yourself, but you don't have to use this to talk about you, because to feed your ego. Okay, you have to stop your ego, as our Latinos friends are saying. Ego is not your amigo. Okay, so don't say too many things about yourself. If the girl is asking, perfect, you can say things about you. But for example, the basic information, I never say this kind of information to the girl if she's not asking to me how old I am, which kind of work I do, how old I am, and these 3 basic information. I never say this to the girl unless she's the one to ask it to me. So when she's saying something, ask about more details. Don't say just cool, and then staying in silence, or just going to the next question. Ask details. She says that maybe she has the passion for, I don't know, cooking. You can ask what is her favorite dish that she's able to cook, and if this is like a passion that she has because she wants to do it as a job, or because maybe, I don't know, she was always cooking from the time that she was just a kid, because I don't know. Okay, so you can ask many questions. You can also start seeding, for example. This is another topic, but if you want to invite a girl to your place at the end of the date, you also have to seed activities that you can do later. So if you're talking about food, about cooking, you can start saying, oh, maybe later we will cook this, maybe later we can eat this. And so when the time comes, at the end of the date, you can make an invitation for going home and cooking a specific thing, for going home and I don't know, ordering some food. Okay, but no, this is not the topic of this video. And so talk about her when she says which work she's doing and you don't know what she's doing because maybe it's an niche that you don't understand or you don't know. Ask details. Don't pretend to understand like every stupid average man. Maybe because it's very typical that a girl, she's saying something that you don't know. Maybe she studied in the university, she's studying something that you don't know, or that she's doing a work that you don't know, and you just pretend to know what she's doing. Don't do it. Say that you never heard this and ask more details. And everything that she's saying, you can ask another question, you can ask more details. This is very effective because it will create a lot of trust on the girl. And remember that if you want to have sex with a girl, you have to create attraction, yes, but also trust. The interaction has to be balanced between attraction and trust. If you only create attraction, she will give you objections and she will not come home with you. If you're only creating trust, you will end up in the friend zone. You will end up that the girl, she will ghost you after the date. If you are balancing perfectly the interaction between attraction and trust, you will end up having sex with the girl. So the third conversation topic is talking about past relationships, her past relationships. Then if she's asking to you also your past relationships, how many girlfriends you had, when it was the last time you had a girlfriend, of course you can answer. Also, you have to be careful because, for example, maybe sometimes if you're talking about this topic, sometimes girls are asking you also how many girls you had, what is your body count, and in these cases you have to be careful. But I assume like this is not the case of most part of the people that are watching this video, because if you have a lay count that is higher than 20, it's already a lot for girls, so you should not say like if you had sex with 30 or 40 or 50 girls in your life, you should not say it to the girl. Until 20, I noticed that it's acceptable for girls. If you say a number that it's above 20, it's not good to say on a date, but I assume that this is not the case of most part of the people that are watching this video, because if you already had sex with more than 20 girls in your life, you know probably a little bit what you're doing. You can still improve, you can get higher quality women, but no, this is not the topic of this video. So talking about past relationships, like for example, how many boyfriends she had in the past, how long the relationships lasted, if she had also not serious relationships, and why we're asking these information, because this is a conversation topic that will bring the conversation on a more man to woman side. And this is perfect, because if you're too platonic in the conversation during the date, you will just end up in the friend zone. You will end up in a situation where the girl, she will ghost you after the date because you didn't create enough attraction, you were not able to flirt, and this is a very good topic to flirt with the girl. And also it's a very good topic to understand how open is her mentality, because if she's telling you that she never had a boyfriend, maybe she's virgin, yeah, maybe she can be in the moment in her life where she wanted to make new experiences, and so maybe you will be the first guy. But if she's a virgin, there are not very good chances for having sex on the first date, also in the second date, or whatever date it is. It can be that it will take more dates. You can still have sex with her, but most part of the times it's not even worthy at the end of the experience, because if she doesn't have any experience, then the kissing, it will not be fulfilling, the sex will not be fulfilling. Also, let's say that she had like 4 boyfriends, and maybe she is now 26, and the first boyfriend was at 18 years old, and every relationship lasted 2 years. So basically she's telling to you that she always had sex in the past 8 years. Because the first boyfriend from 18 to 20, then 20 to 22, 22 to 24, and 24 to 26. So she basically always had sex in the past 8 years. So it's a good thing. She's used to have sex, and so if you make things properly, she will not give you objections. You can have sex with her at the first date, or also the same day. It depends in which kind of situation you are. Let's say, for example, she had one very long relationship. She's now 28. She had a 10 years long relationship, and she never had adventures. Okay, of course you don't have to ask her if she ever had adventures. You can ask it in a more elegant ways. But maybe you understand that she only had one very long relationship and she never had adventures. Yeah, it depends, but usually it's not a good signal because she doesn't have experience. She only had a very serious experience. Yeah, maybe she's now in the mood that she wants to make new experiences, but usually it's not a very good news. And let's say, for example, that she's telling you that she never had a boyfriend, or maybe she had a boyfriend 4 years ago and now she's single since 4 years, but when you're touching her with the physical escalation, you notice that she's reacting in a very positive way to the physical escalation. What can you understand from these reactions is that, yeah, she's single since 4 years, but since she's reacting so well to the physical escalation, probably she had sex in the last 4 years with other guys as a single. So, if you want to start dating new high-quality women you meet in your everyday life in just 90 days, click the link in the description below and schedule a free consultation call where I will create an individual step-by-step plan to reach your goal from your current situation.